right, good morning, everyone. There we go. Camera adjustment. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We are talking about just listed mastery. We're going to continue with where we left off. Last week, we were, of course, continuing on adding that value. So let's pick up with where we left off. Last week, we were, of course, talking about, just being in a position where the pre-prospecting routine, that's something that we do want to make sure that we do get down. So again, pre-prospecting routine, what does that consist of? Waking up every single day, same time, every single day.
I don't hear any sound. Does anyone else?
No, I don't hear anything either.
Robert, Lizette, are you guys there?
Hi, Deborah. I think he's working on a few things. Let me double check on him and
Okay.
then we'll be back.
Okay, thank you.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear
Yes.
you now.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Of course, my mouse died, so I needed a minute to charge my mouse. But anyways, let's see how far we can get into this without my mouse dying. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and pick up with where we left off. We are talking about creating a a strong pre-prospecting routine. What is a strong pre-prospecting routine? That goes for pretty much all the different sources. We are, of course, talking about just listed, just sold mastery, but we're talking about waking up every single day at a certain time, creating that consistency. Number two is having some sort of introduction to a workout. Don't care with what it is, you just want to get the blood flowing. Third one is having a clean, healthy meal. Okay, so just being in a position where you can, of course, fuel your body and continue to just move in a positive, of course, healthy direction. Mindset work, affirmations early. You want to work on your mindset. It's something that we deal with all the time and more so than we want to at times. So, you want to invest some time into the morning prospecting routine, especially with your mindset. Next thing is arriving at your workspace at a specific time. You want to get there at the exact same time as much as you possibly can, or for that matter, just like I've said before, JBY, just beat yesterday. Get there a little bit earlier than you did the day before. How about clearing your desk? Is your desk motivating? Does it inspire you? Does it encourage you? Is your desk in a ready position? How about high energy role play? One of the things that I hear very, very often from a coach's perspective is just simply the fact that there just isn't role play that's being had. Or for that matter, there is the role playing once or twice a week. Sometimes actually just simply role playing once or twice a week can actually work bad for you. Now, why would it work bad for you? Because you role play with the same person over and over again. They don't give you the critique that you need. You're not growing. As a matter of fact, the person that you're role playing with is a person that's not even in the industry, and they keep giving you the "Hey, good job. That sounds really good." When in reality, it wasn't really that great. So, who's your role play partner? Are they pushing you, motivating you? Are they taking you to the next level? Do they have that skill set? Okay. Do you have somebody who's better than you? Or are you role playing with the one or two people that is weaker than you? And they're giving you critique based on something that they've never even done themselves. Just think about that. You want to keep the process light and enjoyable as much as you possibly can, because this is tough. This is a tough business. There is a lot of mindset that takes place, from a negative perspective. And again, when you're on the phone, you're picking up the phone, you're knocking on doors, you're doing open houses, you're calling back these people that had inquired, and they're giving you the FUs or the take me off your list, all of that stuff. It's discouraging. I get that. So in that, one of the things that we can control, okay, as I've talked about before, is our effort. And in that effort, the one area that I do want you to control is going to be that just simply working on your skills. Um, what are you doing to work on your skills? Some of the things that I had shared with you guys, just simply creating the space and the time so that you can work on your skills. Okay. It's going to show up in so many different perspectives. You can simply record it. How about just simply reading it? Just read it over and over and over and over again. Heck, even when you're laying on the couch, laying in bed, have a recording of yourself and just loop yourself. Just listen to yourself over and over and over again and try to remember it back like when you were in high school. Okay, trying to remember that song. Um, Here I am talking to you guys, and I'm not even charging my mouse. All right. Anyways, just continuing to move from that direction. Role play. How often are you role playing? I always encourage my coaching clients to role play a minimum of 10 times a week. 10 times a week. Okay. How do you do that? Well, first off, you don't need 30 minutes to role play. In most cases, even in a role play, you can get in and out of a role play in 5 to 7 minutes. Maybe a minute or two of critique. And then the other person goes 5 or 7 minutes, and then a minute or two in critique. You're probably looking at about 15 minutes. 20 at the absolute most. Now, when you do this, it gives you the opportunity to be more efficient. Some of you are role playing for 30, 40 minutes and you role play the one crappy version. So, who's your role play partners? Okay. How about going back and listening to some of your audio recordings of you prospecting? How about, recording via Zoom your prospecting session as if though I'm prospecting right now, have it in front of you. And then now we can go back and look at your mannerisms. As some of you, as I've shared before, I do unfortunately suffer from RBF. It shows up a little bit more often than I'd like to. And that RBF is not fun. Okay, especially when you're trying to portray this high energy, high enthusiasm salesperson. What's RBF? Well, resting bitch face syndrome. So, you want to avoid that as much as you possibly can. Have a mirror, have your phone, have your computer, have some things that inspires you. What is it that inspires you? Do you have pictures of your loved ones at your desk? Okay, or you don't. Do you have pictures of something that inspires you at your desk? I don't know, just something to think about. So what I want you to do is that there's 3 stages, okay? 3 stages to a realtor when you are working on this. And the 3 stages that I'm referring to is number one is you just simply want to read it. Now, some of you don't even want to read it. Some of you go through and you look at the scripts and you're like, oh man, this doesn't even sound like me. And I get that, and I understand. Trust me. Being in the business now, 26 years of age, like I've said before, back when I was a teenager, 13, 14, 15, even 16 years of age, my lingo was not with where it is today. As a matter of fact, I am way more refined. Now, when I run into somebody from high school, they don't even recognize me because I'm a completely different person. And that's okay. But the reason why that's a completely different person is when I came into the industry and I saw scripts, I was like, man, this doesn't even sound like me. This sounds like some random white dude. Okay. This doesn't sound like some Chicano, some dude from, San Bernardino. It doesn't sound like him. But that's the problem and the solution. The problem is that I'm sitting there trying to act as if though the script that's in front of me doesn't sound like me, which in a sense it doesn't. But what I also understood is by using the script, it gave me the opportunity to speak to a broader audience. Okay, because I was no longer talking to my homies or my homegirls. Okay, or speaking to the Spanish people that I could, work with. It started to open up a bigger audience. I started to get the opportunity to work with more upscale people. I started to work with people that had a lot more money. So the conversation was a little bit different. And yes, I did look at the script and I sat there and I said, why in the heck am I using this script? But I stuck to it. And what I want you to do is I just simply want you to read it. Just go through and I get it. I understand. You're sitting there. Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. My name is Robert. I am a local realtor and the reason I'm calling you, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to suck. Okay. Trust me, it's going to suck. I know it is. It's going to suck for a month, for 2 months, for 3 months, for a year. It's going to suck. But by doing that, you're going to start to learn how to get to that second stage. And that second stage is the memorization. Okay. Eventually, you're going to get to the point where you don't even have to have the script in front of you. Well, that's not going to be much better because that version is now going to be, hi, Bob. My name is Robert. I'm a local realtor. The reason I'm calling is I just listed a property for sale right around the corner from you. It's over on Banana Street. We have it listed at a great price of 500,000. And I was wondering who do you know like to move into the area? That's not that great either, but it's going to get you better results. And why is that going to get you better results? Because when you're talking to somebody, you're no longer worrying about what you're saying. You're now listening to with what they're saying. And when they give us some sort of a response, it's no longer, how about yourself? When are you planning on moving? Oh, F you? Okay, great. Well, how long have you lived here? It doesn't effing matter? Okay, great. Well, where did you move from? It's not that anymore. Now you get the opportunity to just simply have a conversation. And when you have a conversation, and especially when it comes from a genuine perspective, it gives you the opportunity to have authority. And that authority is going to be the part of that trust factor because now they understand that you're listening. Okay. How about yourself? When are you planning on moving? F me. Hey, I get it. I understand you weren't expecting realtors to call you this morning. We are trying to get this property sold. If you were to make a move, where would you consider making a move to? It doesn't have to matter. No, I totally get that. Okay. How long have you been here? Too long? Well, again, if you were to make a move, where would you go? Out of state. Well, what state would you consider making a move to? Just the hell out of California? Well, how soon are you wanting to do that? Sooner than later? Heck, look, why don't we do this? Let's get together and see if I can be of help to you. Obviously, there's some frustration. I don't know if the frustration is with me or just simply being in a position where you're here in California. Do you want to get together tomorrow or would you rather do it on Thursday? Perfect. I'll see you on Thursday. And there have been appointments that have been set like that, even with those type of people. Now, the reason I talk to you from this perspective is because we want to get to that third level, and that's the mastery of it. That's the internalized version. Well, the internalized version is where you can just simply, I pick up the phone and I call you at 2 o'clock in the morning. You could just spit out the script like there's no tomorrow. And when you get to that stage, now you're really paying attention. Now it's absolutely nothing to do with what it is that I'm saying. Now I can just pull a conversation out of anywhere and just simply have a conversation. Now I can get to the mastery and the doctrine of it, and that is the question between the questions. What is the question between the questions? Well, that's where I start talking about them. It's no longer just about the questions. The questions are there. It's a guide. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to go completely off script, but by being within the parameters of the script, you can go through and ask additional questions. Okay. Okay. So you mentioned San Diego. What's the benefit of making a move? Okay. So you got family over there. Who in your family is waiting for you? It gives you the opportunity to just simply lengthen that conversation. I hope that makes sense. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything of any mix? Lizette, anything you want to add?
No.
All right. Well, let's go through, break down the script. Let's go in here. I'm going to share a script here with you guys. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to just go ahead and jump right in. All right. So we have two different scripts. I'm going to go through very quickly. As far as the breakdown is concerned, we do have the just listed script. Okay, this is basically with what some people basically call circle prospecting, or even better, some people say, I don't really like to cold call. Okay, cool, awesome. Where do you get business from? Well, I get business from open houses. Good. Are you the type of agent that just simply shows up 30 minutes before and puts up 3, 4, 5 open house signs and then you sit there, twiddle your thumbs for the next 2 to 3 hours? Or are you doing everything in your power to try to maximize that open house? How do you maximize that open house? Well, one of the things that I used to do, which really separated me from the competition, was just simply going through, I would have an open house, and before the open house, the entire week leading up to it, I had a phone call. Not a big deal. But I'd go through and say, hey, we have this property for sale. Who do you know? No one? How about yourself? Not interested? Well, hey, we're going to be holding that house open this Saturday. I'd love the opportunity to invite you if you get a chance. So in that, I would go through and I would telephone prospect Monday through Friday, and then I'd follow that up with door knocking. Okay. And then after I'd go through and I'd door knock, well, now it gives me the opportunity. And this is what really separated me from the competition because I pick up the phone and I call these people. And as I call these people, nope, 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 nope. The conversation we're not privy to, that's on the other side, the person that I just got off the phone, which was the husband, he gets off the phone and the wife asks, hey, honey, who was that? Oh, some realtor. Okay, but what did he want? I don't know. He's trying to sell some property. Oh, is it the property down there? I'm not really quite sure. Why are you asking? Well, they just put up a sign over on this one property just 2 blocks in. It's the one that when we come in. Yeah, and? Well, honey, we've been talking about possibly selling. Yeah, but we're not going to do it right now. I mean, the market this, the market that, the interest rate, all this other stuff. Well, how much were they asking? I don't know. I think it was saying something about 700,000. Interesting. Well, do you think they'll get 700? I don't know. I have no clue. I haven't been really paying attention to the market. All right. Anyways, that's a conversation that ends up being had on the other side when I go through and have that telephone conversation. Now, is that 10 out of 10? Of course not. But it is going to be 1, 2, or 3 out of 10. And then I go through next day, I knock on the same exact door. I'm being strategic. I go and knock on the same door and I now start with the exact same script. Hi, my name is Robert. I'm a local realtor. The reason I'm stopping by, I just listed a property for sale right around the corner from me. It's the one right down the street. Okay. Yeah, it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. We have it listed at a great price of 700,000. I was wondering, who do you know like to move in the area? And all of a sudden the wife goes, hey, did you actually knock at my door yesterday? Or sorry, call me yesterday? Yeah, probably. I've been calling around the area. I've been canvassing. I've been doing everything to get this property sold. Well, how much you guys asking for it? Well, it's 700,000. It's on the market. It's
No
on.
getting something or no? Chicken is drawer here. Chicken is.
So it's on the market for 700,000. And okay, well, I don't know. You guys think you guys are going to be able to sell at that price? I'm not quite sure. Okay. Then I go through, how about yourself? When you're planning on moving, blah, blah, blah. And she says, well, we were toying with the idea, but we're not 100% certain as to when we're going to make that move. Well, what's stopping you from making the move? I don't know. My husband's not really too keen on the current market. Okay, well, that's fair. I completely understand. Nothing comes of that conversation. But then that person walks into the open house. What are they doing at the open house? What they're doing at the open house is they're comparing and contrasting. They're not going to be looking at making a move down the street. Okay. But they're going to go through, they're going to size it up. Well, ours is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Ours has a pool. They don't have a pool. And they're trying to ask for 700,000. I think we might be able to get 750. Heck, we might even be able to get 800,000 if they can sell that one for 700. Well, anyways, they come into the open house. I recognize the lady. That's my next seller. I would look for sellers at open houses. So I use this script from so many different perspectives and so many different angles. Now, in this, as I wanted to share with you, I would go through and call the just listed. So I'd call leading up to that open house. But once the open house was done, now think about this, what I'm sharing with you. How many agents do you know do this? Again, this is what separated me. Ideally, we get that property sold, and as soon as we get it sold, we open up, of course, escrow. The moment that we put it in escrow, I'm now going to jump over to the second script, which is the just sold script. It's pretty much the exact same thing. The only thing different is that this has a different opening. Whereas the other one is saying we have this property for sale. This one now says we just sold it. Now we put the property in escrow. For those of you that are in some non-escrow states, basically it would go pending. And going pending, now what I would do is I'd pick up the phone and I'd call the exact same list of people and tell them we just sold it. Imagine getting a phone call on Monday and then the next Monday being told that the property's been sold. Just imagine what that had looked like in terms of what I was able to do. Okay. Now, of course, the very first person that I would call would be that person, the person that I just mentioned. Okay. And I would then follow that up with the fifth thing, which would be going out and knocking on the doors again. And I would sometimes I'd go through everything one week and just listed, do the open house, get an offer accepted, open escrow, take it pending on Monday, and then go through the entire process, the exact same people, and do it all over again, but this time from a just sold perspective. Now, that's what separated me from all of my competition. I don't know, just kind of an idea. Is that something you do? Is that something that you know of other people do? And I don't just stop there. There's so many other things. This is not the open house mastery. This is the just listed mastery. But this is how I would use basically with what I was supposed to be doing anyways. Any questions, comments based on with what I just said? All right.
Yeah, I think this is great, especially because I do feel like there's a lot, the average agent goes to an open house. Let's just use that as your example right now. But they host an open house and they think it's just about that one open house, finding a buyer for that open house. And I think that's the average agent. But what you're saying is using that strategically, having that one listing and tripling that and finding the next seller, next seller, next seller, and only having an eye for sellers as well at the open houses. So the strategy changes once you're looking for sellers, then they start showing up. So it works for me.
Yeah, I think the one thing based on what Melissa just mentioned is what made me different was the fact that yes, I would look for my next seller. And the reason for that is because a lot of times when we're sitting there, we're at an open house, and what do you think of the house? You like it? No? All right. Well, I'm here to help if I can help you find another home. And in most cases, they're walking into a second, a third, a fifth, a seventh open house, or they already have somebody that they're in a sense working with, or they give you the fake name and number, and you're trying to capitalize on the one out of possibly 10. And sometimes you do luck out. Yeah, we love this home. What do we got to do? Awesome. Good for you. Now, I'm not saying I didn't work with buyers. All I'm saying is that I didn't specifically look for only buyers. So in that, as Lizette just mentioned, yes, I'm looking for my next seller because while all the other agents are sitting there just looking for a buyer for that home, trying to find that square peg for that square hole, I wasn't. I was looking for that, in a sense, next seller. But I would utilize a script, okay? And the script would allow me the opportunity to push people in that direction. Okay, so let's break down the script here very quick because I know that a lot of you have questions in regards to this. And for those of you that are a little bit shy, I'm going to encourage you to feel free to go ahead and type those questions in as well. Now, the
Robert,
just
just
list,
really quickly before you jump in. So
go ahead.
just Chanel mentioned or asked, how do you obtain the phone numbers in the neighborhood for the open house?
For sure. So as far as the numbers is concerned, you do want to get a service provider, Chanel. If you go to my website, you go to www.therobertvillanueva.com. There is a company called Vulcan 7. You do want to make sure that you do utilize the discount code that's on there. So there's so many different service providers. I've used Arch, I've used RedX, I've used Mojo, there's so many different service providers, but the one that I really, really like the most is the company called Vulcan. Okay, so if you go to my website, it's on there. You use the discount code. Make sure you use the discount code because if not, you won't get that discount. I think it's 10% if I remember correctly. So you'll get a couple of bucks off. And I think they're now doing month to month. But anyways, don't quote me on it because they're always running different specials. So go there, and that's where you get the service provider that's going to give you the phone numbers. Okay. So, all right, moving on. So as far as the just listed script, basically with what we're doing in the opening is nothing more than just talking about with what the product is. What is the product? Now that I'm saying product, all I can think about is that McDonald's video. Anyways, all right. All right. So I'm calling. Hi, Lizette. My name is Robert. I'm a local realtor with Blank Blank Realty. The reason I'm calling you is because I just listed a beautiful home for sale right around the corner from you over on Banana Street. It's a 4 bedroom, 2 bath home. We have it listed at a great price of 700,000. I was curious, who do you know that'd like to move into our neighborhood? Okay. 99 times out of 100, the response that we get is no one. Not a problem. I'm going to shift it over. Thank you for thinking about it. Tell me, how about yourself? When are you thinking about selling? When are you planning on selling? Okay. Now, in this, Lizette's going to likely give me a response of along the line of we're not really thinking about it, or we toyed the idea, or yeah, we're just not interested. And that's okay. I have no problem with it. I don't care what the response is. Now, the ideal response is, yeah, we are thinking about making a move. Perfect. Awesome. I'd love the opportunity to be of some help. But question number two, number three, number four, and number five are with what are called rapport building questions. What are rapport building questions? Rapport building questions are basically with where you're just having a conversation. I go through and I ask Lizette in this case, how about yourself? When are you planning on selling? And she goes, we're not. Okay, well, how long have you lived here? Well, we've been here for about 15 years. Where'd you move from? Well, we moved over from LA. Well, how'd you guys happen to choose this area? Well, my husband ended up getting a job transfer and we ended up, here not too far. So we figured we'd, just find a good home. And this is how we ended up here. Well, if you were to make a move, where would you go to next? Well, I mean, husband still works here, but, when we bought this home, it was a little bit of a starter home. And, we are anticipating on getting another dog and maybe having another kid. So we probably will be needing a house sometime soon. Okay, well, when's that going to be? Well, not really anytime soon, but we're probably thinking in the next 2, maybe 3, 4 years. Well, in this, all I'm doing is collecting data. And the data that I'm collecting is, okay, Lizette's a maybe, Joe's a maybe, Sam's a no, Tom's a no, Sarah's a no, Joey's a no, Sarah's a maybe, Sally's a, oh, look at that. Perfect timing. Let me see if I can be of some help to Sally and her husband. All we're doing is just trying to get in there and we're just playing the numbers game. Okay. Any other questions that I can address? Nope. All right. So I'm going to go through. I'm just going to role play the opening. So Lizette, if I can get you to unmute yourself, and then I'm going to go ahead and role play. So
Okay.
there we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Lizette.
Yes.
Hi, Lizette. My name is Robert. I'm a local realtor with Blank Blank Realty. The reason I'm calling you is because I just listed a property for sale. It's right around the corner from you over on Banana Street. It's a 4 bedroom, 2 bath home. It's listed at a really good price of 700,000. Lizette, I was curious, who do you know that like to move here into our neighborhood?
Yeah, I saw that one come up. I don't know anyone.
Okay. Hey, no, not a worries. I really appreciate that. But by the way, we're going to be doing an open house this Saturday between the hours of 11:30 and 2. I'd love the opportunity to invite you, or for that matter, anybody you might know of. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, I really just want to take a minute to say thank you for even thinking about that. Tell me, how about yourself? When are you planning on selling?
Oh, probably never. We got this at a really good deal.
Nice, good. Well, you got it at a really good deal, and you're not planning on making a move anytime soon. How long have you lived here?
We've been here about 5 years.
Okay, good. So you guys have built some good equity in the last 5 years. Where'd you guys move from 5 years ago?
We actually moved from Tulare.
Okay, so it wasn't too big of a move. What made you guys decide to pick this part of town?
Well, we always wanted to be in Visalia, so we moved a few things around
Okay.
and yeah, finally had an opportunity to get here.
Got it. Okay, so you guys moved from Tulare. You guys have been here now for about 5 years. You guys have always wanted to be in Visalia. I gotta ask though, Lizette, if you were to make a move, I get it, it's a big if. Where would you consider making a move to?
Mm, yeah, we're not going to be making a move, but I don't know. We've always kind of thought about going to like another state, maybe Utah could be an option, but
Okay.
that'll be way later.
Wow. Well, what's taking you over to Utah?
It's just so nice over there.
Yeah.
But that, yeah, like I said, it'll be way later.
Okay, got it. Well, for the sake of time, we're going to go to stop right there. Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make in regards to this is just a casual conversation is what I want you guys to get into. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop share screen. Anybody have any questions, anything that I can address? All right, I want to go ahead and take a minute to invite everybody. I do get the good fortune and the opportunity to have, my good friend Veronica is going to be today. That's going to be interview at 12:30. And what makes Veronica special is she works with a lot of millionaires, builders. She works on the investing side. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different. And with what Veronica does is that she's basically a hard money lender. Okay. But it's not just hard money lender because she has access and disposal to all kinds of different things that you can actually do if you're ever thinking about fixing, flipping, or working with investors or how to get involved in this arena. So I get the good fortune, of course, James and myself. That's going to be today at 12:30. All right, everybody, let's have a powerful and productive day. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.